Hi guys, and welcome back for the reading week 7 and 8. And then I want to explain right away, I did not realize I had run out of ephemera, so I'm going to need to print some more. I had put, and I will show you, these all here as waterfalls. And then I put, we're getting there. Well, I know I have them. I have them in an envelope. These, I made the tags, and then the little envelope. And then I have a couple more of the pockets left. But what I'm going to do is today just do the reading, and then come back. We'll do 7 and 8. And then what I have, and I want to show you, is I have a die cut that cuts like the little scrolls, and I want to cut several of those, and I want to back it. I want to put them on this paper. I have a heavy-ish paper, so they can make a bunch of little journaling cards, and then they'll go in here. And they'll also go in here. And then I want to put a pocket here, and a pocket here, and a pocket here, just to finish out the rest of the book. And we will do that next week. I know I am running behind. So that is why I want to read 7 and 8 today, and then 9 next week to finish. Okay? Yeah, this is 7 and this is 8. And then we have 9, our final day and our final flip through. And I promise you I'll have really neat stuff for this one. Okay, so let's get started with day 7. The gifts of the Magi. Okay, in the heart of the Christmas narrative, an episode of intrigue and devotion unfolds. This is Matthew 2, 1 through 12. The journey of the wise men, also known as the Magi. These learned men from the east embarked on a quest guided by a celestial event, a unique star, leading them to the birthplace of Jesus. However, the gifts they presented to the newborn king are equally as intriguing and significant. These were not random tokens of honor, carefully chosen items, gold, frankincense, and myrrh, each carrying deep symbolic significance. Gold, recognizing kingship. The first gift, gold, is a universal symbol of wealth, royalty, and status. By offering gold to Jesus, the Magi acknowledged him as king. But not just any king, but rather a king whose reign would not be limited to earthly borders, but would extend to the hearts and lives of people worldwide and across time. Frankincense, acknowledging divinity. Frankincense, the second gift, is a type of incense used in religious rituals and ceremonies. By bringing frankincense to baby Jesus, the wise men acknowledged his divine nature and his role as a spiritual leader. This gift prefigured Jesus' role as a mediator between humanity and God, offering himself up as a spiritual sacrifice. So we know in later years what happens there. Myrrh, a foreshadowing of sacrifice. The last of the 3 gifts, myrrh, I think is what it's called, was a burial spice. In ancient culture, it seems like a strange gift for a newborn, but it was a highly symbolic in the context of Jesus' life. The gift of myrrh foreshadowed the suffering and death that Jesus would endure as part of his sacrificial love for humanity. In conclusion, the gifts of the Magi were not just valuable items, but were symbolic gestures recognizing Jesus' kingship, divinity, and the sacrificial role he was to play. As we celebrate Christmas, it's worth reflecting the significance of these gifts. They remind us of Jesus and what he means to us. A king to be honored, a God to be worshipped, a Savior who made the ultimate sacrifice for us. As we give and receive gifts this holiday season, remember the original Christmas gifts and their profound significance. One of the things I used to do with my children, because I was sharing with Eshter maybe yesterday or the day before, over on her Facebook page, my family on my father's side grew up to be Christians. I mean, they were born again Christians from the time they knew what right and wrong was, all the way up to present day. We have a very large religious family, and two of my uncles were pastors. So I was sharing that with her, and we were not allowed to have Santa Claus in our house. Nothing Santa Claus. We didn't have pictures of Santa Claus. We could not bring pictures of Santa Claus home, because that, while I guess his Santa Claus is actually, I think his real name was Kris Kringle. While they took the story from a real person, and we just weren't allowed to have Santa in our house. So we were brought up to believe, the birth of Jesus, and that's why we celebrate. And so for my children, I allowed them to have Santa Claus in the house because, it's, for me, my personal choice was that all the other kids were doing it, were talking about it, and I didn't want to give my children reason to be excluded. But what we did was we made a happy birthday Jesus cake. And we sang happy birthday to Jesus, and we celebrated his birthday before we opened presents, before, any Santa was brought up. So that's what we did. Okay, so now we're on day 8. One of the most dramatic segments of the Christmas story revolves around King Herod's reaction to the birth of Jesus. This part of the narrative, often overshadowed by more joyous events, is significant in the biblical account of Jesus' birth. King Herod, also known as Herod the Great, was a Roman-appointed king of Judea, known for his architectural accomplishments and cruelty. Herod was a man of great power and paranoia. His reign was marked by suspicion, fear, as he constantly feared the loss of his throne. When the wise men from the east arrived in Jerusalem seeking the newborn king of Jews, Herod was taken aback. The Magi's news troubled him deeply, as he saw this new king as a direct threat to his rule. Worried about his power and position, Herod hatched a plot to find and eliminate this potential rival. Herod pretended to share the wise men's desire to worship the king. He asked them to report back to him once they found the baby Jesus, under the guise of wanting to pay his respects. However, his intentions were far from noble. In truth, he planned to kill Jesus to eliminate any threat to his throne. That's not good. Matthew 2:6-18. When Herod realized Matthew 2:16-18. When Herod realized that the wise men had outwitted him and had not returned to reveal the location of Jesus, he was furious. His reaction was violent and brutal. He ordered the massacre of all boys in Bethlehem and its vicinity who were 2 years old and under. By the time he had learned from the wise men, this event, known as the Massacre of the Innocents, is a chilling reminder of the lengths Herod went to secure his power. Matthew 2:13-15. Unfortunately, Joseph and Mary and baby Jesus escaped to Egypt, guided by a divine warning in a dream. They were safe from Herod's cruel decree. They returned to Nazareth only after Herod's death. In conclusion, Herod's reaction to the birth of Jesus adds a dark but significant twist to the Christmas narrative. It serves as a stark contrast to the joyous news of Jesus' birth, a grim reminder of the political climate of the time. However, it underscores the miraculous preservation of Jesus' life and the fulfillment of God's plan. As we reflect on the Christmas story, let's remember all its aspects, including King Herod's reaction and the lessons it teaches us about power, fear, and God's divine protection. So, yeah, if you guys are familiar, that backfired on him because I can't remember who, but somebody went around and putting the blood of the lamb over the door. And if you had the blood of the lamb, the angel of death, or I think it was called the angel of death, the shadow of death, I don't remember, this shadow coming through the city. And if you didn't have the blood over your entrance to your door, and you had a 2-year-old or younger child, they died. However, if you had the blood of the lamb on your doorway, your door entrance, your child was spared. So unfortunately, his son was under the age of 2, and of course we know he would not have had the blood over his door, and so he lost his own son due to his own curse. So there's lots of lessons. You know, we can't be that hungry for power, and we have to allow God's will, you know, let God have his plan. Okay, guys, so that was this week's reading, and remember, next week when we do the final reading, I will have some goodies and be ready to stuff it. I don't want to stuff it too much because you can see we're already kind of chunky, and then I want to do a better closure for it, an easier to tie closure. Okay, I appreciate you guys coming along for this Bible study. Next week will be the last day of that one, and then I will be starting the hashtag Beauty of God and Sunflowers. And if you're watching over on Miss Eshter's channel, as well as our team, which is in the description box, you will see lots and lots of beautiful things. Now, I thought this was the end of the kit, but I'm going to show you in our first episode there are much more pieces to this kit. I just didn't see them and get to print them as of yet, but I'm working on that now, today, and for the next 4 weeks. Here is our Bible study guide. And I will be doing these are our Bible study passages. I will be doing a reading. What does Genesis 1 say about the beauty of God? So we'll be doing that. This is just going to be a binder, like a, you know, the ring binder journal. And we'll do some fun stuff with this. This will just be, this piece will be for reading and notes. And then this portion will actually be for I'm making 2 journals. So one journal is going to cover week 1 and week 2, and then the second journal will cover week 3 and week 4. So over the weekend, probably Sunday, I'll be working on this. These are gorgeous, 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 gorgeous. And I have an idea for these. I have an idea for all of it, guys, so don't forget to go over to Eshter's channel, and it'll be in the description box. And as well as the team. The team is huge. The team is huge for this one, guys. So wonderful on that. That means we get the beauty of God out there to lots and lots of people. Now, these particular sheets of paper came to me with my new die cut machine, which I love, love, love. And we will be having some die cuts in this journal as well. All right, I appreciate you guys coming along, and stay tuned for the next video.